yung mga mandato ng mga ahensya, ganun po yun. So yun po yung tatlo.
Last, Secretary. Tumaas po ng 373 billion ang unprogrammed appropriations. Paano tinitiyak ng pamahalaan na sumusunod ito sa mga probisyon ng konstitusyon na nagbabawal sa Kongreso na taasan ang mga appropriation na lampas sa orihinal na mungkahi ng Pangulo?
Ang unprogrammed appropriations po kasi standby fund lang yan. Wala po yan katapat na revenue. Kanina po na-explain po ni Secretary Recto yan. So tuwing meron lang pong additional revenue tayong ma-realize from the Bureau of Treasury, doon lang po natin yan pwede i-release.
Thank you, Secretary.
Next question, Harley Valbuena, DZME.
Hi, good morning. May we know po kung sino yung nag-allocate ng items sa DPWH and unprogrammed funds na binito ng Pangulo? Are they part po nung original version ng National Expenditure Program na sinabit natin sa Congress? Or initiative na po ng Congress mismo?
Initiative na po, nakita na po namin siya sa BICAM report. Unfortunately po, hindi po namin alam kung kanino po yung mga yon. But it's a result of the bicameral conference committee. It's a collective decision of Congress. Of Congress, yan, according to our Supreme Court Justice. NES.
Let me just
Ang seryoso nyo naman kasi, ano ba yan? Happy New Year, guys! We should be happy we have a budget.
I just would like to give context to that question. Ano? Yung proposal of the budget comes or emanates from the executive. That is through the NEP, yung National Expenditure Program. Once that NEP is submitted to the lower house, the lower house will now schedule the hearings on the NEP. When the lower house finally approves or adds or subtracts to the NEP, but must conform to the limitation in the Constitution that it should not increase the lump amount, the entire amount, then it becomes a GAB, General Appropriations Bill, and this is the one that will be transmitted to the Senate for its own study of the proposal, of the budget proposal. And when the Senate shall have been done with its duty, there will now be a bicameral conference committee that will tackle this. Now, I don't know if you can find in the records of the bicameral report or the bicameral report who proposed those increases, but that is to be respected because they are the Congress. They are the Congress. And the final product is, of course, this GAA. And the GAA was submitted to the executive as an enrolled bill, and once it is submitted to the executive as an enrolled bill, the executive can no longer change that. Congress can no longer change that. So that is now what the President reviewed. And the President was personal and direct about the review and called on members of the Cabinet to contribute to the effort of looking at the budget. Now, with or without the calls for review, the President and the Cabinet went to that task. And I think we are happy about the result, and we have come up with this. So the approval of the budget by the Chief Executive happened before December 31. Today, that is. So that is the context.
Thank you, ES. Next question, Eden Santos, Net 25.
Good morning po. Clarification lang po, ibig sabihin yung 10 billion po na budget ng DepEd, na ibalik po iyon para dun sa...
Hindi po, bawal po tayo magdagdag sa bicameral committee report. Kung ano po yung pinasa ng Kongreso, yun po. Hahanapan na lang po natin ng pondo sa pag-i-implement natin sa execution ng budget. Maybe Secretary Recto would like to.
Yes, that's correct. I think the President wants to prioritize the additional spending on education, which is found in the unprogrammed portion of the budget, So if there are excess revenues, we will immediately release that part of the budget. But I'd like to say also that this is the first time in our history that you have both the education sector and the capital outlay sector of the DPWH and the DOTR to hit 1 trillion pesos. So that would augur well for the economy's growth for 2025.
So meaning po, kaya tumaas yung budget ng DepEd dahil nabawasan yung DPWH para lang masabi na mas mataas.
Yung sinasabi po kasi natin na budget ng DepEd, it remained the same.
Apo.
Pero yung tumaas
Yes.
po kasi when we compute education sector po ang pinag-uusapan natin doon. It's not just the budget of the Department of Education because you also have to consider may CHED po, education din po yan. TESDA, education din po yan. Marami pong yung mga SUCs natin, marami pong mga ahensya ng gobyerno na education din naman po yung nila, yung kanilang mandato. Kaya po tumaas.
So ang malinaw po, gusto ba sumagot ni sandali, ang malinaw lang po, Secretary Pangandaman, stay po yung budget ng DepEd, kaya lang siya lumitaw na siya pa rin yung mataas kasi nabawasan yung budget ng DPWH. Yun po yung malinaw doon. Next question ko po, doon sa pagbaba po ng ating 2025 national budget at naialis po yung mga naisingit doon po sa BICAM, na wala sa NEP, wala po sa Congress at Senate version, wala naman po bang sumamang mga loob ng mga senador at kongresista na may mga project pong naapektuhan doon po sa pagbaba ng budget? Anyone can answer po.
Po, dati po siyang
Si S.
You know, it's the president that proposes the budget and the Congress disposes the budget, and it is the executive or the president who executes the budget. Okay? So there is a process in budgeting, as we all mentioned. No? So, palagay ko, maayos naman yung budget for 2025, especially with the vetoed items. Sinigurado ng presidente yung may popondo natin, yung mga karapat-dapat, consistent with the Philippine Development Plan. Walang ambiguous projects, walang mga proyekto na hindi sulit sa taong bayan, so to speak. And I just wanted to add also that even in the DPWH budget, meron dyan mga proyekto na school building. So maaring wala sa DepEd, education sector, nakalagay multipurpose building. Alam ko dahil ako naging congressman ako, naging senador ako. So may mga pondo rin yan sa DPWH that have to do with education as well. No?
And I think we are all in agreement that it's important to have a budget, diba? All of us, that's why we went through that process because lahat po tayo, gusto natin magkaroon tayo ng budget sa darating na taon. Ayaw po natin ng reenacted budget dahil gusto po natin tumaas ang ating ekonomiya. Hindi po tayo pwede bumalik dun sa level natin this year kasi bababa po. We all agree also that while the government expenditure is just 22% of the GDP, it also still contributes to our economy. So maybe actually, I can ask RC to talk about ang implication po ng reenacted budget kasi I think importante po ngayon is that meron po tayong budget for 2025.
I think that has been explained by the President this morning sa speech niya, no? Explaining why reenacted budget is not an option for this administration.
Thank you. Next question, Ana Bajo, GMA News Online.
Good morning po, ma'am, sirs. Tanong ko lang po kung natuloy po yung zero subsidy for PhilHealth under the approved budget.
Again, pag wala na po sa enrolled bill, wala po siya. Hindi po natin pwede dagdagan yan.
Yung sa Intel and confidential funds po, was it lower from last year's? Kasi yung DBM, nagsabi po before na 16% lower siya for this year.
Hindi pa po namin nako-compute yung aggregate ng total CIF. We'll check it and we'll provide you at the proper time.
Next question, Marisol Halili, TV5.
Ma'am, follow-up lang po sa PhilHealth. I understand kasi marami yung may concern dun sa zero subsidy ng PhilHealth and I understand hindi naman siya pwedeng i-veto. So is there another way on to change?
Well, my understanding is that Congress did that because the budget for the corporate operating budget of PhilHealth is sufficient. So they have reserve funds of roughly 280 billion. They have a surplus of roughly 150 billion the last time I looked at it. They have investments of more than 400 plus billion. They will earn 200 billion in 2025. They will spend 150 billion. So yung surplus nila, madadagdagan na naman ng 50 billion yan. So they have adequate resources. Now, having said that, we in the Department of Finance next year, tututukan namin ang PhilHealth. We will make sure that we spend that budget better. Halimbawa, I'll give you an example. Maybe we should concentrate on the top 10 illnesses. Palagay ko, yun lang. Itaas natin 100%, 200% benefit package of the top 10 illnesses. Malaking pakinabang ng taong bayan dyan. So, I don't think you have to increase 9,000 case rates. Sa panganganak pa lang, ilan ang case rate? Di ba, alam ko sa panganganak, 2 lang eh. Cesarean at saka hindi cesarean, di ba? Eh bakit sa PhilHealth, 20 ata yan eh. Di ba? So, tututukan namin ang PhilHealth next year.
Thank you, sir. Follow-up lang po dun sa conditional implementation. Aside from ACAP, meron pa po bang ibang program under conditional implementation?
Ay, yes po. 1, 2, hindi sir, marami. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Ano po kami, we will distribute the veto message. We'll post it in our website. No, napirma na po, pero wala pa, hindi pa nila nalalabas sa sa office.
Ma'am, pwede bang pa-enumerate lang ng mga highlights, yung mga in general na
Yung conditional?
Yung conditional.
DSWD, ACAP. DSWD OSEC also, yung Payapa at Masaganang Pamayanan Program, PAMANA. Sa DPWH OSEC, yung definition on basic infrastructure program. Meron din po sa Office of the Ombudsman, payment of retirement benefits and pension, release of payment of retirement benefits and pensions. Sa Department of Agriculture po on RCEF. Ay hindi, natanggal na pala to, no? Oo. Tapos, meron din po sa Judiciary, Supreme Court of the Philippines and the lower courts,